when parties are in opposition and we ignore the way they organize,
right,
and what they say to each other and about each other when they are organizing, eventually come to impact all of us if by accident they get the chance to rule. You know, we need to be concerned about how they are organizing, what they are saying to each other and about each other, so that when we are making decisions at the polls, we'll be guided by their thinking and their methods and their approach and decide whether to give them a mandate or not. But if we don't show interest and say, oh, it's their house matter, that's when we act surprised when they come to power and begin to show their attitude that they acquired in their house when we're not looking. Then we begin to act surprised. You see, first of all, Moro, I do not know the state in which the chairman of the party is in now. And so I'm going to be very measured in the way I make the point I'm about to make. I think what is happening to the party today is as a result of lack of leadership. No leadership. And the party chairman, if I am right, by the party constitution, is supposed to be the leader of the party when it is in opposition.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
The leader of the party.
And I think it's the opposite for the NDC.
It's the opposite for the NDC. The NDC, it is when you elect a flag bearer.
Right.
The chairman is only leader until you elect a flag bearer.
Right.
And the flag bearer becomes the leader
of the party.
But for the NPP, the chairman remains the leader.
Right.
Is that the case?
Yes. Even when the flag bearer is elected?
Yes. He remains the leader.
I think so.
Yes.
I can check.
I think that's what the chairman remains the leader.
Okay.
And so when you have a situation where the party is struggling to fill a leadership vacuum, and they are saying the decisions that they are taking now is as a result of the need for them to fill a leadership vacuum, it speaks volumes of the current leadership. And that is why I'm saying that I do not know the state in which the chairman is, especially given the letter that came out from the family.
Quite clearly, he's not feeling well.
And so I'm measured in criticizing the inefficiency and ineffectiveness of the chairman. But, well, by the way, what was that? That letter, what was that? That, for me, was perhaps speaking to a certain discomfort that either the chairman or the family have with the way things are happening in the party. And we shouldn't ignore that.
You think so?
Yeah. Otherwise, what was that for?
You were just informing the party that the man is not well.
No, it was not just an information. It was a cry for help.
I think.
Okay, that's interesting.
It was if you read the letter, it was a protest. It was a shout for attention. And so we shouldn't just ignore it. We shouldn't just think that it was, a letter written by some misguided elements. Yes, they may have been misguided, but their misguidance may have been based on something that is cooking inside the party.
Signed by some member of parliament.
It's been a member of parliament.
So it's not misguided.
Yes. So I'm using misguided advisedly. Yeah. You can be level-headed, but you can be guided wrongly. Yeah. If you don't treat it as a letter by misguided elements, it's for me, reading that letter, I have no doubt that there is something wrong with either how the chairman is treated, or how he feels he is treated, or how the family feels he is treated. There is something. And that perhaps is what is adding to the leadership crisis, for which the party is now, falling over itself to get a leader immediately.
But if that's the case, shouldn't be difficult for the chairman to say he's resigned on health grounds.
Exactly. So those are the unanswered questions, and that is why you must treat that letter as a cry for help.
Okay.
That letter had screams of discomfort all over it.
Okay.
And I'm surprised that nobody is paying attention to find out what might have motivated the family members to write that letter. Because they are not stupid people, excuse my language, who signed the letter. But the details they gave, the words they used, the protest words, protests. Questioning even the decisions of the secretary and the way they published or publicized the meetings and that was a loud scream. And maybe we will need to find answers to that. And perhaps if we get answers to that, we will not have to feel a leadership vacuum. If some people are making the work of the leader difficult and we fix that, there will be no need for the party to stampede everybody into choosing a new leader. Because you see, if you don't fix whatever is affecting the current leader to perform effectively and you choose another leader, and that situation persists, how sure are you that that new leader will also be able to exercise the control that this current leader is unable to exercise?
Right.
So we need to pay attention to that one.
But don't you also agree that the sort of clout and influence that a flag bearer wields is not the same as a national chairman? I mean, the scheme of things.
It doesn't matter.
So that if you have a flag bearer, he would have a better...
It doesn't matter, but
and
you
a more
see,
effective control of the party.
No, even in the past, when you had a flag bearer in the person of Nana Akufo-Addo and a chairman,
Okay.
the chairman exercised a lot of control and leadership. In the case of Mr. Paul Afoko, the exercise of his control ran counter with the vision and direction of the flag bearer at the time. And it generated problems. They had to unfairly, yank Paul Afoko out and get a chairman whose exercise of control and authority was in consonance with the vision and mission of the flag bearer. Because the flag bearer was not the one exercising the authority and leadership. He did so, even if he did, through Mr. Freddie Blay when he was brought in. The chairman was still the chairman. So the election of a flag bearer will not diminish the authority and leadership of the chairman as the party expects of him and contained in their constitution.
No,
it will not diminish it.
No, but Suhuyini,
it will either complement it or conflict with it.
Suhuyini, then you and I are saying the same things.
Yes.
I'm saying that if you have a strong flag bearer,
yes,
that solves the leadership vacuum that you're talking about. And depending on the style of that leader, you talked about the Paul Afoko Kwabena Japan Sami Crap issue that happened in the NPP.
I agree with you, Moro. But what I'm saying that you don't need a strong flag bearer.
Yes.
You don't need, forgive me, you don't need a strong flag bearer.
Yes.
To highlight the control of a chairman and the leadership of a chairman.
Okay.
A chairman without even a flag bearer is expected by the party's constitution to exercise leadership.
True.
So a strong flag bearer...
That's on paper.
Yes, but a strong flag bearer will only complement that leadership and control.
Yes.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
So you do not... It's like
But
we say in our
typically-
local parlance that you do not apply medicine on a sore that you have not cleaned.
Yes.
So if you have a weak chairman
Hassan,
that you are not addressing
Hassan,
and you elect a flag bearer,
Yes.
you are not going to solve the leadership problem.
No, but also, I'm saying
of
that
the party.
typically, flag bearers want to have unfettered control over the state of affairs of parties,
Which
of
is
political
not
parties.
always in the interest of the party.
I
And that
agree.
is why you need a leader in the chairman.
Yes, but
That's why you need a leader in the chairman. And
Yes.
So that they can work to complement each other.
Yes.
Where there's a conflict,
Yes.
it can also be a problem.
Yes.
But when they complement each other, then you are assured of better outcomes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the point I'm making.
Okay.
But I think the critical issue is with how the current leadership may be one way or the other made ineffective.
okay.
Because that's what I saw from the letter, that certain things are making the current leader, the person of the chairman, ineffective, either health-wise or other issues that we are not told.